Now, I just got my hands on the brand new Pixel 8 Pro, and based on my first impression, Google is for real. Now, over the past few years, Google has been making some significant strides with their Pixel lineup. They've significantly changed the look, massively increased advertisement to get the Pixel name more known, and pretty much given the Pixel enough features and hardware to where we can consider the Pixel 8 Pro a top-tier flagship smartphone. And based on my first impression, I really think that this might be the year where Google can be more recommendable than the S23 Ultra and the 15 Pro Max. And before I go more in depth with my first impression, I not only want to unbox it, but I also want to show you guys all of the new features that the 8 Pro has to offer. The Pixel 8 Pro has a new matte finish compared to the glossy finish on the 6 Pro and 7 Pro. There's a new hole on the back of the 8 Pro, and basically this is a temperature sensor, meaning that you can pick an object in the app, put your phone close to it, and it'll tell you the temperature. And despite the many positives, there are some negatives to the Pixel 8 Pro. There will be a $100 increase, meaning that it'll now cost $1,000 compared to the old $900 that we got on the Pixel 6 Pro and 7 Pro. But I really do think that it makes up for it with all the new additives. The Pixel 8 Pro will be getting 7 years worth of security, OS, and feature updates, meaning that you can keep the 8 Pro until 2030, and it'll still have the newer features of the Pixel 15 if Google decides to call it that. Now, the 8 Pro will be getting a massive bump in brightness. It'll now be able to reach up to 2400 nits of peak brightness compared to the 7 Pro's 1600. Battery has been slightly bumped up to 5050 milliamp hours, which isn't that noteworthy, but it is new. The 8 Pro also has a new Tensor G3 chip, which should be better at dealing with overheating, and it will slightly be more powerful than last year's G2 chip. Now, going into the brand new software features, if you use Google Chrome, you can now ask your Google Assistant to summarize the whole page for you. Speech to text is faster and more accurate, so whenever you take a pause and include or it won't pick it up. There's also a new fitted feature, which means that your Pixel will proofread your messages before you send them, which basically means less typos. There's a new camera layout that separates the video from the camera, which is much more organized in my opinion. There's a new magic editor, which not only allows you to erase a subject from a photo, but it also allows you to move a subject to anywhere in the photo, which is pretty cool. The Pixel also allows you to change people's faces, so whenever you take a group photo, there might not be someone who was smiling, but when you take burst photos, you're now able to edit and make sure everyone's face is correct, which is even more insane. And last but not least, there's a new audio eraser that basically lets you remove any unnecessary background noise in a video. And there were so many more cool features that the Pixel 8 Pro has. And not only that, but it also has the cool features from previous Pixel phones. So I think the price increase is pretty fair. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro has 3 different colors in this catalog, starting with Bay and Porcelain, which are colors that truly pop out in the lineup. And for the more uniform colors, there's Obsidian, which is the black version. And as you can see, it looks really good. The matte texture makes it much more clean while also being more fingerprint proof. Also, you can see that the camera bump is very premium and is also extremely similar to last year in terms of look and material. Even when we look at it in the sun, we can see that it looks really good while also giving off a nice clean look that I think many people will enjoy. I also really loved how it had the metal sides that were the same color and continued that clean, colorful aesthetic of the phone, and it looked even better when the sun reflected on it. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro has a 6.7-inch display that is now called an actual display, and I will say that it's pretty good based off my first impression. It was vibrant, the quality was good, and it did good, so I was pretty satisfied with the outcome. I also really like the fact that the size was big with very small bezels. Like right here, I'm playing a game, and you can still see that it's big enough to get the job done and give a good visual experience. The display is also 120 Hz, which means that you'll get a much smoother experience when scrolling, and it feels pretty much the same when compared to the Pixel 7 Pro. The Face ID so far is better than the 7 Pro, since Google has made it more of a priority to fix it, and Touch ID is slightly faster as well, which is something that I really liked. But besides that, the display was very responsive out of the gate. Everything that I clicked on and moved responded very quickly, and I would say that overall, it felt really high quality when compared to top tier phones. And outside of the new features, the 8 Pro gave me the exact same software experience as the 7 Pro based on my first impressions. So if you're a fan of Google's software and ecosystem in general, you're going to love that stock Android feel. But to give you guys an idea of how the screen performed, here's me playing a game and watching a video. Now, when it comes to build quality on the Pixel 8 Pro, I would say that when compared to other top tier phones, it was one of the most premium builds in the market. Again, I really like the matte back with the premium feel, and when compared to the 7 Pro and 6 Pro, I feel much more confident holding it since it's less slippery. But besides that, the front and back of the 8 Pro are Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which means that in most cases if you do drop it, then most likely it won't break. I also love the premium size that made the phone feel much more smooth and made the phone feel much more satisfying. And this is the reason why I think that the 8 Pro has the perfect build for a top tier smartphone. And now when it comes to physicality, the Pixel 8 Pro weighs about 213 grams, making it pretty much the same weight as the 7 Pro. And right here, you can see how well it fit into my hands. It's pretty big, but I was still able to get a comfortable grip on it, which made me less likely to drop it. And then finally, moving on to camera, the Pixel 8 Pro has a 50 megapixel wide, 48 megapixel ultra wide, and 48 megapixel telephoto camera that can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second. And when we look at the outside daytime photos, we can see that the pictures look really good, the skies look nice, the environment looked nice, and my selfies were very impressive. I also really admired the fact that it was able to handle my skin tone very well. I didn't look yellow or red, and it balanced the light very well to the point where I can say that it's one of the best selfie cameras. Now, when we look at the daytime inside photos, I would say that these were also really good. It let enough light in to where I could capture objects better. It was able to get in some good photos with very little grain. And again, it was able to capture my skin tone very well, which made me want to take more selfies. And honestly, it was good enough to the point where I could say that the Pixel 8 Pro has one of the best cameras in the game. And I also wanted to give you guys an example of how the phone records video before I gather my final thoughts about it in my further review. And when we look at additional specs on the Pixel 8 Pro, it has a Google Tensor G3 chip that can also be found in the Pixel 8. It has storage that goes from 256 gigs that goes up to 1 terabyte with 12 gigs of RAM. It supports 30-watt fast charging, and it has an IP68 dust and water resistance rating. And there it is, you guys. My first impression on the Pixel 8 Pro. Now stay tuned for more because I will be giving a weekly update on the Pixel 8 Pro where I will be going more into detail to show how it holds up. But let me know down in the comments, you guys. Do you think that I should do a day in the life on the Pixel 8 Pro? Let me know. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.